Hello, everyone. This is Youngling Jr. So we have American singer Brian McKnight. So Brian McKnight, his name is being dragged all over social media because people believe that he is disowning his biological children. Now, you guys know from his previous marriage with Julie McKnight, they were married since 1990 to 2003, and they had they share two kids, had two sons, Brian McKnight, and then they had Nico. And what's really interesting here is that according to this, right? So he been posting a lot of things on Instagram that hey, he praising his step kids. I mean, it was one instance that he bought his stepdaughter a new BMW, and she's like a young adult, and this is from his new marriage, Lalani. And also too, he had a daughter, Brianna McKnight, from I guess an affair from with Patricia, a driver. And Julie, his ex-wife, was actually taking care of her and doing everything he can, and they was like, you had the audacity to disown your children. Now, according to him, right, back in 2019, a video that resurfaced, Brian McKnight was defending himself, saying that, hey, growing up, I did everything for him. Even when they were like in a young adult age, I bought him, gave him an apartment. We rented an apartment for him. He kind of helped them with their careers. He was supplying them with money, and he was saying like now they're old enough, they should be able to sustain themselves. Now we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. It sucks, yes, when a family is broken apart and due to whatever reasons, because usually when that happens, the family, the kids, they usually blame themselves like, hell, okay, did mom and dad break up because of us? And it has necessarily nothing to do with them. People grow apart, people make decisions. It is what it is, right? It's unfortunate. That's why the Lord hates divorce, right? Because the mental and the emotional and the spiritual things that you have to go through, and affects everyone around you. So, but I mean, people are kind of a little bit bitter about this. I mean, it looks like he had like a son named Brian McKnight Jr. again, with Lalani, his new wife. And they met actually at the hospital that she worked at, when he was recording and doing things. And they just had a relationship. And I think it was a picture not too long ago, he was praising his stepson, from graduating from high school. And it's like he's doing these things and having a good time with kids that's not his. And now people is like, oh, you got a whole adult at home. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you not taking care of your own biological children? You have your ex-wife who accepted what you did at first when you had Brianna, and they doing everything they can. So, I mean, it's just a lot of that stuff goes on, man. So we never know what the difficult things and tragic things that happened, when they was growing up. I mean, this is really nothing new, especially as far as the celebrities and the black families. I mean, you look at, remember Kurt Franklin, son, he ended up getting upset with his father. He was like, man, you didn't take care of me, you didn't do this. And Kurt Franklin's son's like in his 30s. Even Romeo Master P had a fallout at one point, and I'm pretty sure Master P was helping him out about the money that he had over the years. And then he's just probably like, hey man, you're a grown man, I understand, like, I have wealth, but you have to be able to stand your own. I'm not going to be able to make decisions on your own. And I'm not saying that Brian McKnight Jr. is not entitled to nothing, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure that Brian McKnight senior, he was looking like, listen, man, this is what you need to do. This is, you got to be able to stand yourself. I did everything. I'm trying to move on and find happiness. I love you, son, but I got to focus on my family now, and even though he has like two different families, and you would love like for your dad to still, be with you, even though no matter how old you are. And I get it. It kind of sucks, especially if it's his caliber. But I mean, I can't really judge Brian McKnight on this. I mean, somebody said, I'm going to remove all Brian McKnight songs from my playlist now. That's just about him just totally not acknowledging his kids is wild. Bro, your son is named Brian McKnight and got a whole adult here. No F him. So, I mean, he's, this is just some of these, viral tweets that's been going on around right now all over the internet. But, I mean, we just don't know what's going to happen, what's going on, man. So, it is what it is. I just want to, give my little 2 cents in here. I mean, you have 50 Cent and 50 Cent's son. They was going at it like, hey, he's not taking care of me. Dr. Dre's son, like, oh, he's not giving me any type of money. Even though he's worth like over $400 million or whatever. I mean, I'm out here struggling. It's just a lot of things go on, man. So, I mean, all the connections and relationships that they have. But I feel like, when you're an adult, you just got to get it, man. I mean, you can't really expect too many handouts. I understand that if you so happened to have like maybe not even inheritance or been born to a family like, okay, you know, he's a famous singer or he has access to all this wealth, he should be able to help alleviate all of these things that you know, that the average person go through financially, mentally. You know, you are my supplier. But I mean, it's kind of crazy, man. You know, I mean, he ended up doing like a little dedication to his, you know, to his new son with his new wife. And you know, people was really sad about that. So it's just, he's just receiving a lot of criticism. And so I just want to know what you guys think on here. I'm pretty much like neutral on this because I don't know the total reasoning behind the, you know, why they broke up with him. You know, he broke up with Julie. I mean, yeah, he had a baby with, you know, Patricia, and that probably was still the deal. But what led to that, you know? So but he said, yeah, he never neglected his children. He always took care of them. He gave them what they needed. He helped supply them, you know. And now it's to the point that, hey, I got to do what I need to do to receive some happiness. So but we have to see, man. Do you guys think that Brian McKnight is disowning his children based on the stuff that he posts on Instagram and social media? You guys tell me what you guys think here. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and also too, follow me on TikTok at Youngling Jr. 395. I love you guys, man. I'm out. Deuces.